Disappointment for Nigeria. Mission number 4 comes to an end disappointingly in the semi-final against the host country, Morocco. Best attacking team, best, sexiest football at the tournament. At the end of the day, it all came to a moment, and that moment did not go in the Nigerian way. Well, Fahad, let's talk about what we saw in this game. How would you rate? Let me ask, what went wrong? Because we didn't win, which means something went wrong. What went wrong?
Well, first of all, I just want to greet both sets of players. Actually, they give their all to 120, 120 to the penalty. But then penalty is a game of luck. It's everybody's game. So, but then for Nigeria, what went wrong for Nigeria? I just feel if you look at it, they had 2 shots on target, 2 shots in the whole game.
Just one on target.
Just one on target. That shows you. That shows you what actually went wrong.
And even that target was no.
It was the same one for Yasin Bruno. So if you look at it, for a team that is scoring 2 goals per game, that is averaging 2 goals per game throughout the tournament, to now have just 2 shots in the whole game in 120 minutes.
I mean, we're 3 goals away from breaking the record of the highest goal scored ever by one team in an AFCON. Because the highest ever is 16. We are 14 right now. So we need to score maybe 1 or 2 yesterday and score 1 in the final. I mean, in 2 games, we should be able to manage 3 goals if we're going at that pace. And we would have practically been the highest goal scorer ever in an AFCON tournament.
So if you look at it right yesterday, we actually stifled. We were caught. Suppliers was cut off, and I don't think the fact that we also defended from the start of the game to the end of the game contributed to the fact that we couldn't do much attacking wise. Defensively, we were very solid defensively. I think they had like close to 5 shots on target. But then those were actually the shots on target were like something that was actually savable on a good.
No, but Wabali had some really great.
He had really great save. But then and that's something that a good goalkeeper should be saving. No, unless making a mistake, unless it's Onana. So but then going forward, we didn't have anything. I think Osimhen got tired from doing nothing on the pitch. I mean, apart from the fact that he was tracking back, he was pressing. Attacking wise, he got tired from doing nothing. Even Lukman also got tired from doing nothing. So that shows that attacking wise, we were not there in the game yesterday. We didn't have much in the game yesterday. And the fact that we also defended throughout 120 minutes also contributed to the fact that we couldn't do much going forward, and that's one of the reasons why we had 2 shots in the space of 120 minutes. That's a very damaging start for a team that scores 2 goals per game.
I mean, today you talked about attacking wise couldn't do anything, and I feel like it was down to maybe the master class of Moroccan coaches.
Yes.
I mean, he cut off supply.
Yes.
He made sure that Iwobi, who was
it's not the manufacturer, it's Iwobi.
He made sure Iwobi did not get
still this company. It's still the Iwobi company.
I think maybe
we're being physical with Iwobi.
Maybe because we'll be shouting Iwobi, that's why.
But Iwobi, apart from fire be shouting, we know that Iwobi was the supplier of that. Those like sexy penetration passes, we know that Iwobi was the one giving all those we'll call it pre-assist passes, So we didn't see all those passes coming out, and that's because when Iwobi gets on the ball,
2, 3 of them. Yes. And they're matching him. Not as if they are even matching him.
And we know that Iwobi is not the most physical player. He can't cope with extra physicality. So they were able to cut off our attack, not by marking Osimhen, but just by taking out the
that's what we need to give to Moroccan coaches. So this was the same approach that Enzo Maresca used against PSG at the final of the Club World Cup. Enzo Fernandez was backing Vitia. Anybody with Vitia was backing so that Vitia would not be able to spend everything and not supply the forward. So it's the same thing that the Moroccans did. They made sure Iwobi was nullified in this game. And we know Iwobi to be a flexible and sexy player. So the flexibility and physicality. So he couldn't cope. And that was and also as a matter of fact, whenever we are playing our attacking and sexy game, we do play all out. And while playing all out, most of the time we used to play line like that. The rest will be at the half of the pitch. and
They kept their defense back this time.
so but this
Basia and Ajayi could not go.
this team is a very clinical team. El Kabi, Brahim Diaz and the likes, they are clinical forward players.
With Mazraoui and that
You
keeping
understand?
forward.
Yeah, so we can't take that risk. Exposing our backline like that, so we couldn't take that. That was why it looks as if we were. It's not as if we defended throughout the game. Aside from the start, look at the possession. The margin of the possession wasn't that much. Even as a point in the second half, we were dictating the game. Just that our dictating, we're not taking those risks we used to take. We're not going forward. We're just possessing. We're mesmerizing with the ball. We're possessing. We're not just going for because we are trying to keep possession at those critical times. Let's keep the possession so that we stop the attack. Let's keep the possession so that we stop the attack. So, and moreover, all of those things are I think I Rachel did brilliantly well because I think Michukwueze converted that penalty and won this game. This would have been a conversation. We would have been credited his approach. And Senegalese coach would have been happy and let it that. This team has played attacking football before now. And yesterday they played a defensive football. So what do we know? What would they be doing next in the final? So that would have been a setting. So still it was a nice game.
Let's talk about Rachel's sub. I mean, was the sub okay? You know. He waited a long time before the sub. Both teams.
I think we're sizing each other out.
Yeah.
Who
blink first? Okay. Because I saw Simon preparing on the sideline like 15 minutes before he was eventually produced. I was wondering, there's a long way. Maybe it's just to. So I felt like they were both watching each other. Who is sub? Because it was that tactical kind of game. But I do think Aisha got his subs right. You know, brought in Sayo, brought in Moses Simon. You know, eventually brought in the likes of Chukwueze also.
I think we were very chill. I think they should have. When they took off for Edika, I think Simon shouldn't have been the sole person that should have brought in. I think they should have brought in Allen more other midfielder.
But which other midfielder? We had not tested any other midfielder. Apart from maybe Edika, who else testing that Uganda?
If you look at the sub from this album, I believe all of those subs show that he's still very reserved. Now, the penetration and the running Hakimi was making at that right side with Brahim Diaz, it was too much on Bruno Emachi. That was why I need to bring in Moses Simon. If you look at the role Moses Simon played in that second half, he was really supporting. At some point, I saw him at the end of the ball, at the end of the pole in our own box, trying to cover up for Bruno Emachi.
It's like having two wingers.
That's it. So and when we're still playing with the likes of the Iwobi, the style of we used to play, we were initially playing. Iwobi could not really concentrate on the flank. He was concentrating both on the flank and on the midfield. So he needs someone to concentrate on Hakimi specifically and Brahim Diaz, and that's why we were able to nullify the threat of Brahim Diaz and let us take up the second half before it was
stopped.
So it was due to that substitution. And if you look at the second substitution that he made, which is Fikayo Dele Bashiru, I know the guy is not that starting to be personal there. It's not.
I think that was a penalty.
Yes, and also let's not forget the fact that the guy is predominantly a midfielder, not an attacker. So the defensive consciousness will also be there. You can't compare him with the likes of Chukwueze. Chukwueze wants to collect one and dribble. So I still believe he's still somewhere reserved, aside from the penalty being the main goal, he's still being reserved when it comes to the substitution he was doing. So Onachu was in bench. We still have several four players on the bench, and he was bringing in the likes of Fikayo Dele Bashiru, so you would have known that he's been reserved. So, but if not for the fact that Chukwueze did what he did, it would have been another story.
You just think Amari
I mean, we'll get there eventually, but let's talk about the referee. Horrible officiating. Although, at the end of the day, he did it in such a way that Nigerians cannot say that we lost because of him. But also, sometimes when you feel like the referee is against you, can demoralize you. He really showed that he favored me.
Okay, I don't mean Nigeria coach, sorry. Wouldn't you be expecting something like this? I was expecting a worse officiating than what we experienced yesterday.
Well, I think for the referee yesterday, I think I've seen worse officiating than that. But it's not like it was all that. Yeah, those were.
He didn't make it because those little things.
Yes,
like the Basi yellow card. A couple of times, it was Lukman that was being dragged, but it was Lukman that was blown against. Just little things
and
like
for
that.
a team that committed around almost 20 fouls with no cards at some point, things like that.
I don't think Morocco got it.
Yes, they didn't get any
cards.
Yes.
That kind of physical.
Yeah. So, but it is expected. I'm telling you. But even prior to this match, on the social media that has been there that okay, we are, a Ghanaian ref is coming to this match. They are not a friendly country and things like that. We were expecting worse officiating. Personally, I still believe, though that's not the best officiating. But considering my experience with CAF, considering my experience even with Champions League at times, for the team that they want to lose, is still like, I think we still have like 30 to 40% advantage from the ref.
Yeah.
So, and to me, it's still fair enough.
And let's talk about the penalty kicks. Samuel Chukwueze. Okay. Before we talk about Samuel Chukwueze, our selection of takers. Against DR Congo, I didn't like our selection of takers. And yesterday also, I didn't like our selection of takers. See, the penalty shootouts, you have to select the right takers and you have to put them on at the right time. When I was angry on a particular page, and you non-deleted. I was angry and somebody was telling me that, he was lining up Lukman to take the last kick. See, you put your best foot forward.
Yes.
Your best in this kind of shootout, your first 3 takers must be your best. Because in those first 3, you can either mess it up or you lose in your first 3. You are done. So I felt like keeping Lukman for the last, and then there was Iwobi, who I believe also can take a penalty. Iwobi can shoot a penalty. Iwobi was there, was also substituted, and yes, that was someone missed against DR Congo. But when someone is still a decent penalty taker, it was a penalty taker for Nantes before he joined Paris FC. So I feel like you have Iwobi, you have Demola, you have Moses Simon on the field. And you are pushing Bruno Onyenemechi to go and take a kick. You are pushing Samuel Chukwueze to go and take a kick. Especially the first 3 kicks. I feel like it was too much. It was too much.
I think, I don't think it's reserving Demola and Iwobi and the likes for the last penalty.
So they were going to be on the field and they were not going to
if you look at the match, even during the extra time, if you look at Iwobi and Demola precisely, their legs were heavy.
It's just penalty now.
So penalty is also part of football.
It's just penalty
now. You kick with your leg.
And they are relaxed. It's not like you play after the game.
You know what?
They are relaxed. They are making
personally.
They have massaged it for
them. Yes, that's what I was saying. Where I believe the body wrong is after the game, they would have done some massaging and things like that. Because honestly, it was obvious that Demola legs were heavy during the extra time. He could not kick the corner kick again. Even free kick. They gave Bruno 1 free kick because Demola was tired. Bruno could not even kick the free kick. Iwobi was giving us not the extra time, just 5 meters, 3 meters, 2 meters pass. He could not kick. They could not. It happens. It happened in football. So I believe they would have done better by either massaging them, even or putting a body kick. They can't get proper.
Well, I think he said. I think at the end of the game he said
this was his best. I don't know what kind of training they were doing.
I mean,
they were not training against Bono. They are training against Zoho and I don't understand how those guys were his best.
But then if you look at it, Unity Cup, Bruno Emechi scored. I think he scored in the final against Jamaica and Unity Cup, against Ghana Unity Cup for the Super Eagles. We reached the Super Eagles. So I think that's one of the reasons why he was made to take the penalty. And then in training, I think when you look at training
see one thing they need to understand. I think one thing they missed is the fact that training conditions are different from real match. See, in real match conditions, especially penalty shootout, it's
more intense.
It's 30% skill, 70% confidence.
Yes.
So in training, you are not under pressure.
Yes, I'm not
so in training is probably 70% skill.
Freestyle.
So you just go and but the pressure exactly and score. But in real life situation, you take people who are experienced, people who can be calm under pressure, and I think that's where the challenge is. Because going based on those who scored in training, come on.
I mean, if you look at, I think a lot of Nigerians are actually bashing Chukwueze, but then I think that was what he did there was trying to calm himself.
By blowing up.
It is not
after chewing gum like that, now go and pass the ball.
Bono didn't jump, Bono didn't jump. He walked. He literally walked and pushed the ball.
At least Bruno Yemechi still tried to make Bono walk. In fact, Bono was gone.
Yes.
It was just experience that he still used to say
Yes,
that
now.
Bono was gone already. But Chukwueze, he would have just maybe just done pass to
Is that a penalty to you?
but
I've seen worse penalty than that.
My grandma.
I've seen worse penalty than
This
that.
actually kind of penalty.
I've seen worse penalty than that.
well, it is what it is.
And even the way you approach the ball, I think that's insulting. Even to Bono, that's insulting.
To elect because I mean,
You are not doing as if you are doing.
do you know how many penalties that Bono saved for Sevilla? Even
for Morocco and the World Cup.
Before I exactly, so I think it's.
They are now start working to take penalty as if.
But it is what it is. It has happened. Well, all the best to Morocco and to Senegal. But then let's quickly talk about. Oh, so you are referee.
Yeah, Pajam.
But that's true. There's actually Kwame in his name. He has Ghana heritage somewhere. But then quickly, let's talk about the top place game now against Egypt. What should be our approach towards that game? Is there an approach of let's give French players opportunity, or is there an approach of at all na impact? No, get bros.
I mean,
So Osimhen, Lookman,
everybody. Because I'm not sure about Osimhen's fitness right now.
I don't think it was serious. I think it was just a cramp.
But then I think actually need to work with them entirely.
So no changing. I thought maybe the team that played Uganda should play the top place. Top place is not the losers. The final that nobody wants to play.
Yeah. Let me bust your bubble. In 1990, we got silver. In 1992, bronze, and then 94 we got gold. So in 2023, silver.
Okay.
2025, bronze.
2027,
gold.
So we go all go to this place.
We go some experiences.
Let's pull out.
You look at against Senegal. I think you look at Egypt against Senegal. I feel this is a team that should easily be beaten. Yeah, so I feel we should be able to beat Egypt and go all out against Egypt.
Okay, and of course, let's talk about the final. Morocco against Senegal. I can't say that they are the best. Well, you could say that maybe they are the best two teams.
Yeah.
In the tournament. I just wished that we, despite because Nigeria came from that other side,
yes,
that goes into the final, but we would have still met Morocco in the final. But then Senegal against Morocco, what are the chances? What are the odds that Morocco actually hosts and win? How much of an obstacle can Senegal be to Morocco actually hosting this tournament and win?
And fortunately for Senegal, they have Nigeria to learn from. All those
So you already know that appreciating
yes, and things like that. Though I believe final will still be different because the focus of the world will be on the final. The media outlets, everybody all over the world will focus on that. But I believe they won't want to mess up. Even though they want to go to because I think the way they play the game against Nigeria, trying to be smart with the officiating, they will also come with that too. So what Senegal can avoid the red card in that game. Senegal should be able to put some points. Yes, because the physicality game that they played against us, they can't play with the likes of the people in the Senegalese midfield. They have Papagoye, Disagoye, Adabi, something. All of them physical. When it comes to the Senegalese defense, if not for Koulibaly, the other guy that is very physical. So go to their forward, they also have physical players.
Jackson, what's the name?
And moreover, Senegal also stretched the field for them because Senegal also used to wingers, so flank winger, that's in their and Sadio Mane. So with that, I believe they'll still be able to. It's going to be a well-controlled game. But I'm not saying an interesting game. I'm just saying a match that will be like the Nigeria match. That Nigeria will go. It's not that interesting. The skills were.
It was more tactical than
yeah. For me, too. I think one reason why I want Senegal to win is because yesterday I wasn't able to eat. Yes. After
so you want me to do them back?
Yes. I wanted to
hit them when it hurts the most.
Yeah, and make them get into the final and the hopes of the country on them that yes, we are going to
cry.
And then they should score. They score in let's say the first minute, and then Senegal should equalize in the 89th minute, and then win it in the 90th minute. How that was.
What's good to faint? Not due to faint.
No, that's what.
But then, okay, and let's talk about predictions now. Who wins? This time is not who wins the African Cup of Nations. Who goes first? Senegal or Morocco? Yeah, at that point.
Yeah. I mean, Senegal have scored 2 goals in their last 2 games. Morocco,
But they have shown defensive solidity.
yeah.
You know, the reason why I want to tip Senegal is not because I want Morocco to fall. Nigerian game, let's be honest, let's be serious with ourselves and let's be truthful. Prior to this, the first match or the second match in this competition, we never knew we better. It's not that the quality was there in our team, but it's the synergy, the tactical pillars of the coach and everything. So it's not as if Nigeria is a very strong team, let's be honest with each other. So, but this Senegal team, quality is there.
I mean, if we're that strong, we'll be at the World Cup right now.
So you understand. So the quality is there with Senegal. So I believe the Senegal is a serious opposition. Senegal to win.
I'm going with Senegal to win 2-1.
Senegal to win 2-1.
Yes.
Well, the fact is, I'm from a country that wears green, white, green. And ladies and gentlemen, if Nigeria cannot win it, then I'm going with the next country wearing green in the final. Senegal for the time.